I'm Vu. I'm the founder of GoldMint. A lot of you guys know me already. Some of you might not, but we've been working on this project for about 50 days. Uh, we have a lot of passion for the algo stable seniorage space, and we're really trying to improve things with our protocol. We have a really cool peg. We chose PAX-G. We're doing some really cool things with the share tokens and the emissions to keep rewards sustainable long term. And we've been doing a lot of cool stuff with our bond tokens too. And we'll touch on tonight like a couple of the new things that we're rolling out and some other innovations and improvements we're working on making. The rest of the team can jump in and introduce themselves too.
Hey everybody, I'm Doc. I'm going to apologize off the jump if my connection is bad or I'm that guy tonight. I'm the co-founder with Vu. I also sort of lead our angel investor team, and I think most importantly, with regard to GoldMint, I try to help keep the DAO in order and keep things running efficiently from that end. So, thanks for joining us.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Doc.
You can go.
Thank you. I'm Zephyr, Eric. I am the community manager for GoldMint. I do a variety of other things as well. I want to take more of a backseat during this AMA, but I am glad to be here nonetheless. And hopefully we can have a great discussion.
Yeah, I'm Monkey, head of operations and organizer and community guy a little bit. I like to hang around in Discord servers, but help operate and run everything and give some ideas. And yeah.
All right, I'm Cryptzom. Yeah, I haven't been with the team for too long here, but coming on a couple weeks here. We've done a lot of cool stuff since I've been here, and man, have a lot of cool stuff coming. But I'm just kind of here to help facilitate things with operations and do whatever I can to help the team with partnerships and kind of helping around the community, answering questions, stuff like that. So you guys feel free to reach out to me if you need anything.
Right on, right on.
Okay.
Well, I'll go ahead and just do a quick 101 on GoldMint in case anybody doesn't know. I touched on it at the beginning, but we are on the Ethereum blockchain and we are paired to PAX-G. PAX-G is a gold backed token. It's not a gold peg token. They actually catalog gold in a vault in London and use that to maintain the price of their token in line with an ounce of gold. We're pegged to that token. Our protocol's been doing pretty well over the last 50 days in a pretty difficult market. We have some pretty innovative things going on with our share tokens and our bond tokens already, which I touched on a little bit at the beginning. We're looking for sustainable emissions. First, our protocol's set up to emit shares over 2 years instead of 1 year for the farm rewards. And we're using that 2 years, and Doc will touch on this a little bit, to help build up our DAO and prepare some really cool and unique rewards for the long term once shares end to keep people participating in the protocol. And our bond tokens, you guys might have noticed from the very beginning, we've been doing some cool stuff. Monkey kind of helped spearhead our first bond token farm, and that was really popular to get people to participate in bonds early on. And you guys might have just heard this week, we announced that we are partnering with Olympus Pro to release bonds through a vested discount program like they do for their other tokens on Ethereum and other networks. It's a pretty cool setup. It works where we go ahead and we stock that program. We've actually already done the transaction. We put the first 200 bond GoldMint inside the Olympus Pro contract this afternoon. We're getting some things finalized on that end, but it'll be ready very soon, within the next day or two, definitely. And that's going to be a really cool opportunity because you can use PAX-G to buy discounted bond GoldMint tokens. And there's so many reasons already why that's an excellent decision. But it's going to be really cool with the nodes coming up, especially for people who maybe had 0.2 or 0.4 bond GoldMint, didn't have quite enough for a node, but we're looking to participate with that. So it's going to open up the opportunity. If you haven't been able to get it in the foundry, I know that can be a little bit of a battle zone sometimes, depending on, which epoch it is and what time of day. Sometimes people jump on those bonds pretty quickly. So we're going to have a whole bunch of them available for you guys at a discount to utilize just in time for nodes. And then touching on nodes a little bit, we have nodes coming out this Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time, and they're pretty unique. For both that aspect, they accept bond GoldMint. I believe it's the first attempt that a senior age protocol has done to allow early redemption of bond tokens for at least 1.1 pay token or above. So you'll have an opportunity over 90 days to exchange 0.8 bond GoldMint or 0.8 GoldMint for I think around 1.5% a day. That ends up being a pretty nice return. And is a cool opportunity to turn your bond GoldMint into GoldMint, even if we're not above peg. So it's just another way we've committed to our bond holders. And those are some of the cool innovations that we have coming up in the immediate future. I'll let some of these guys jump in a little bit before we go all the way down the road, but we have some another cool stuff coming out that we're excited to talk about a little later in the AMA too.
I'm going to jump in real quick, just because, boy, this is really a big deal for us. We've been having some discussions with Olympus for a long time. We, our DAO was able to acquire about over 200 bonds, 250 bonds, really without debt acquired to them. So it's an amazing way and a very unique way, as Vu said, for us to be able to put these bonds into use, get them in the community members' hands, and then not only that, but be able to use them actively immediately. So when you look at the fact that you can get the actual bonds at a discounted rate, and then you can use those bonds at a discounted rate to buy nodes. Those of you who are yield chasers, this is a great way to start compounding things up. So it's really super exciting for GoldMint. It's going to be big week or two here.
Yeah, that's a great point. It's nice because when they're coming out there as immediate use case, some people do ask, with other senior style protocols, what's the use case for bonds? And just right off the bat, you're going to be able to either put them in the farm, and pursue rewards there. You're going to be able to claim them when we're over peg for at least 1.1 GoldMint, or you can put them in the node program for more than 1.1 GoldMint per bond token deposited. So there's going to be a lot of cool things that you can do, and we're going to keep working on that front. You guys have noticed that since the beginning. Improving the bond aspects of the seniorage protocols, I think, is one of the best ways to just keep it robust and healthy. We're excited to do this with nodes. I mean, there's also the GoldMint nodes. There's more GoldMint nodes available than there are bond GoldMint nodes. We really look forward to having our best, and earliest participants be able to commit to sticking with the protocol. It's, participating in nodes. You can leave early if you want to with a tax, but essentially it's a 90-day commitment, which is a little bit long in DeFi, but not unreasonable for a nice share of the upcoming rewards. So I think it's going to be a really cool opportunity for our community members to either put those bonds to use or put the GoldMint to use that they've acquired or will be acquiring soon. Monkey, do you go ahead, Doc?
No, I was just gonna say a quick note to everybody. I was reading today about commodity prices and oil, and how they're gonna, there could be just massive rises. So, and when you look at the crypto charts every day, I do as well, and it's just God, you get sick of seeing minus 10%, minus 15, minus 7, minus 8 with these little rebounds. Go take a look at our chart at GoldMint, and you'll see the exact opposite thing. So in the world that we all live in today, and really the socio-political and the socio-economic climate, and where the crypto space is to now, GoldMint really has the potential to be a safe haven, and not only a way to protect your funds or your portfolio or your nest egg, but also a way to earn yield. So I just wanted to say that, because I think it's so important in the world we're living in today, in the current situation.
I think that's an awesome point, Doc. For a little while in this server, I haven't been sharing it a lot lately, but I was sharing back to back the overall crypto market chart from CoinMarketCap, and then our chart over, our lifetime, which, when I was posting was around like 45 days or something like that. But it is really nice to see that in a market where, not just, volatile tokens, but other stable coins. That we had the thing happen with US Terra, shortly after our launch. We launched in a pretty tough market for quite a few reasons, but that actually worked out, I think, in some ways to our advantage because it really made our message resonate. Like Doc said, we've been a little bit of a place for stability and growth in an otherwise, pretty difficult crypto space. And it is nice to look at that overall chart, for us compared to the market in general. And I do think there's a lot of room, for upside there still moving forward.
100%. So,
Another thing I'm gonna go ahead, Zeph.
oh no, I was just going to ask a small question, but you go ahead, Vu, make your points, and we can get into my question.
I wanted to stick on the nodes for a minute. I don't know if Monkey wants to jump in for this part, but just a real quick breakdown about participation and how our tax structure is set up. If you choose to leave early or if you want to stick with the system a little bit longer, just give you guys like a little bit of the 101 on how once you acquire your first node, how that system operates going forward for the next 90 days.
Yeah, definitely. We, I think, have some pretty well structured nodes. Definitely a lot different than what you'll see in the space, I guess, compared to other protocols similar to ours, like Grape and Frozen Walrus and other ones, EMP, I guess. So ours are gonna last the 90 days, giving the 1.6 per day, and will give the 144% ROI. But with that, there will be claim tax that is variable depending on the peg of GoldMint. So when we're under peg, if you want to claim your rewards, there'll be a 20% tax. So that's when under peg. And it's only on claims. There's no other taxes. It's just for claiming. Then there'll only be a 10% tax when GoldMint is above peg. But if you let your rewards accumulate entirely throughout the full 90 days and you don't claim at all, but you wait till it's all rewarded in there, you'll have only a 2% tax if you just claim it, or you'll have 0% to compound into a new node. And then, yeah, pretty basic tax structure, nothing else. It's just for focusing on, kind of keeping your rewards and compounding to more nodes and yeah, keeping your GoldMint locked up and helping the supply and TVL grow.
Yeah, you're going to notice that, throughout the ecosystem already, and then you'll see it with the nodes too, that we're going to incentivize the participants, that are participating in a way that's healthy for the protocol. And the nodes are just a great way to jump in with your tokens and show your commitment for the long term. So it's going to be a really nice structure for the people who are able to make that full 90-day commitment.
Yeah, especially
go ahead.
those that want to like accumulate as many tokens as they can for the end of the 2 years emissions. I think that's going to be a pretty smart goal to achieve. And I think nodes is a great way to accomplish that. It's the only way to earn GoldMint RPEG token while we are under peg, because regularly the mint has to print when we are above. So if you want to start earning
That is a great
GoldMint,
reminder.
yeah. If you want to start earning GoldMint and keep on stacking and stacking for 2 years, nodes might be the right thing for you.
What comment too about our bond, about the bond?
Go
Sorry
ahead,
to
Doc.
catch up. About the bonds and what we're going to be selling too. Again, just so everybody knows and where those funds go and the PAX G directly going to the DAO, that is going to be used to support the protocol, and whether that is buys to be mobilized to get us back and keep us to peg, whether that's setting liquidity. So all the contributions that our community members are making in these type of circumstances are going to be put back in to support the protocol and support the community. So it's really in all of our best interest every time somebody makes a commitment like that.
Yes, that is something good to know, because not all of the GoldMint going into the bonds is going directly back to pay back the rewards, but some is actually going to the DAO to help further support the ecosystem. So that's a nice little support bonus there. And there's also a 5% going towards our NFTs, actually, which I hope that we see very soon, which will be super, super cool. I'm super excited for.
Yeah, we can touch a little bit on NFTs. Cripsom, do you want to talk at all about like just lightly on potential like NFT partnerships and some light ideas that we had, maybe with El Taco, and then
Yeah,
just on the back end that we have some other things in the works.
yeah, for sure. I'll touch on that. I also want to touch real quick on the nodes, uh, or on in some kind of the bond tokens. But yeah, as far as like the nodes go in the 90 days, like that might seem like a lot in DeFi, but I like realistically it's not. I mean, with the length, I mean, basically the vision of this protocol in the future, 90 days is really nothing. Um, I mean, I've also been, Grape has the nodes over there as well. People love them. They're awesome. They help the protocol a lot, taking tokens out of circulation, helping the peg. I mean, as soon as they come out, I'm picking up as many as I can. So I encourage everybody to do the same thing. It really helps the protocol, and it'll help you as well. So that's what I wanted to say about that. If anybody has anything to say about that.
100%. Well, I
So
did want
uh,
to ask my question, Vu, if I'm allowed to.
Yeah, go
Uh,
ahead, ask a question, and we'll move to NFTs in a little bit here.
yeah, I wanted to ask quickly because people were asking about the Olympus Pro. You know, you know, can you give us a bit of backstory on how this Olympus Pro partnership started and what it entails? So, how are they going to help support us, and how are we going to help support them?
Yeah, so it's fairly cut and dry. The way Olympus, for anyone who's not familiar, it's actually a great question. The way Olympus Pro works is they are I don't want to say by invite only, but by request only bonding service on Ethereum. It's like such a short description of all the things that Olympus does. It's terrible, but they're the OG innovators in this entire scene that we all participate in. For anyone that doesn't fully appreciate it, I mean, they were the first ones to really make the Epoch system popular with the rebase rewards that has worked their way into the algo stable model that you're familiar with. They were the first ones to do so many of the innovations with bonds. I mean, their bond tokens and what they do with bonding just makes what you see in algo stable senior age protocols seem so weak. They have inverse bonds. They do bonding as a service in the same way like Magic does their auto compounding vaults and stuff. It's something that they provide value, out there for. But because that carries their name with it and stuff like that, you do have to enter a conversation with them over time, and you really can't talk about it at the beginning while it's going on. Just to make sure that your protocol is in it for the long haul and can commit what they need to commit to make it a good, robust program. And we were able to go through that process, and it really is an experiment with utilizing Olympus Pro. What they did was, they're taking a risk, being willing to take a leap of faith and go with one of our style tokens. So every other token in an Olympus Pro contract, at the end of its 7 days, it's guaranteed to be liquid exchangeable, as if our bond was guaranteed to be redeemable. I would almost have to describe a situation where we were guaranteed to be overpegged while in Olympus Pro for that to be familiar to their community members. So it is really unique, kind of not issuing at the end of the vesting period a base token like GoldMint, but tying what Olympus does with their vested bonds, and again, that's such a small part of what they can do and what they can help us do with bonding, and I'll touch on that a little bit more too. But that's kind of how that setup works.
If I can add on to what Vu said here, there's a few things. Obviously, everything he said about Olympus and Ohm, and that's true. So this was an area and a route that we wanted to go. We were actually in a very unique situation because one of the first questions that the folks from Olympus said are, well, all right, well, where'd you get the bonds? Who owns the bonds? What's the debt on the bonds, right? And we were in a fortunate situation to be like, the Dow owns them. There's no debt on that. We don't have anything to pay back. So we really were able to provide them with something unique from what they told us. I think this is also really only the first step with what we're going to be doing with them. So I don't want everybody to think this is going to be the be all end all. We feel like we have created something really unique and new here, but we also feel that we're going to be able to further down the road, even participate more in the Olympus ecosystem and their community, which is one that is built around the principles that we at GoldMint value, I would say. So we're super excited, not only for this initial really unique setup, but for some of the plans we have in the future with them too.
That's a
Yeah,
great
that's
answer.
perfect.
Thank you.
All right. So do we want to touch on a little bit of the NFT stuff here?
Yeah.
All right. So before I share too much, I'm kind of thinking about talking. What do you think about sharing a little bit of the El Taco stuff, Vu?
Yeah.
I can go in just a little bit of detail.
Yep.
Okay. So cool thing. We are partnering up with El Taco Finance. I found those guys a while back. I'm personally invested over there. They have a great community, solid community. They're all long-term investors and long-term stakers. We kind of talked to them about a potential partnership, and then we talked about they had 2 gold tacos that they had minted, or they're going to be minted in this P3, but somebody already had the rights to it. And anyways, me and Doc kind of came up with a deal and picked one of those gold tacos up. I'm still trying to find the other one because I want the other one, but
It really was an
I'll find
amazing
it.
moment. Sorry to cut you off. That was an amazing moment on there. So I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah. So I mean, everybody was kind of, I think, probably shocked because here we are holding a floor price of a 7 AVAX taco, and all of a sudden, boom! Here's a 2,000 USD worth of a golden taco. Or actually, it'd be more than that. So it's a lot more than that at peg. So, but anyways, almost double that. But yeah, so everybody was just kind of shocked, and it was like way cool. And so then after that, had already been kind of working this partnership up with those guys. So we're going to be releasing very few NFTs in the P3 for El Taco, which is going to be around a week. Yeah.
Just a couple of them.
And I think it's going to be, I was talking to those guys, and we don't really have an exact date on when their P3 is as well, but I think it's going to be like next week, the beginning of the week, or to the middle sometime. So they're pretty cool in detail. They're very unique. I won't go into too much into the detail of the NFT, but they're going to be really cool. So, and then as far as some other things that we're working on, I'm not going to be able to give too much alpha on this yet, but just be on the lookout for us potentially doing some things with Grape here soon with our friends over there at Grape. So we're working on some cool stuff, and it's going to be really cool. So along with the tacos, though, before I get too far into that, I was going to talk a little bit about the utility of these, because not only do you have the graphics, which are really cool, and the rarity of them, but you also want utility with these NFTs, which is what we're going to be providing. So there will be utility between both protocols. We'll share a little bit more, I guess, whenever we get there. But unless Boo, if you want to explain it, you can.
Yeah, I'm glad that was a perfect way to close it out. But when we partner with these guys, each arrangement is going to be a little bit different, based on if there's a lot of collab things released or a smaller amount, but we're always going to support them. So all these guys are EVM chains. So I think most of the people would be comfortable receiving some rewards on Ethereum as well as part of airdrops or things like that. So when we partner with these other protocols on the NFT collabs, we're going to be doing some stuff to kind of add on top of whatever utility and value they have. And you can rest assured most of the NFTs we're partnering with are going to be a lot more than a gift. These guys all already have some cool utility, but we're going to try to add some GoldMint airdrop ecosystem token utility as well. And Monkey can maybe, if you want to jump in, start to talk about what we're looking at doing with our own NFTs. This is going to be, kind of the next initiative after the nodes. It builds off the nodes. We mentioned earlier we want to get a little bit of GoldMint from the node revenue and put it into these NFTs to kind of grow this out. But it's a pretty cool idea as well. So if you guys are interested, we'll let you know what our own NFTs might be looking like.
Yeah. Been working on
Yeah, that'd be cool.
designs with somebody, and we got some pretty cool things, I think, coming. I don't know where to start really, but I guess with what Vu said, there is going to be GoldMint tokens, I guess, embedded or something within the NFTs. So you can claim these tokens or leave them within the NFT to hold their value or get the tokens, whatever you want. But it's essentially creating a new floor price for them off the start, because you might see as little as like 0.1 or zero point 0.2 to half of one to even a whole gold mint or something like that.
Maybe a couple or a
Yeah.
few GoldMint. I think we might even have a couple. So we'll probably end up doing 4 rarity levels. My
Yeah.
guess is that the super, whatever the highest rarity level is probably going to have, between 2 and 3 GoldMint in it. And, as we approach PEG, you can do the math on that pretty quickly. That some of these tokens are going to be like jam packed with some really, really cool rewards.
And
So that's
yeah,
going to be really fun to do kind of a similar thing, but with our own NFTs. And we have a lot more ideas. You can almost tell when we're trying to hold back. But like, there's some thoughts on potential things to be done in the future with the NFTs. If you do choose to participate and not claim the tokens out of them, that those might be stakeable in the future. There are no guarantees that we do that, but we got a lot of cool stuff in the works for you guys.
yeah, and to
One,
touch on the
Mhm.
one this first set, at first you'll see that they don't look like much, but they'll be we'll have a nice reveal where you're all gonna buy pretty much all acquire the same NFT it looks like, but then at some point they'll all reveal to what they actually hold and what they actually are. It'll be super shiny and fun.
Yeah, you're not gonna know on OpenSea which one has $5,000 worth of GoldMint stuffed in it.
Yeah.
They're gonna be wrapped, kind of sealed until the reveal date. So everyone's gonna have to kind of pick them up and see what rarity level they get and what kind of rewards are stocked inside them.
100%. Also should mention, aside from the NFTs, there's one thing we did not discuss. We partnered with Olympus Pro, I should say. We also partnered with Moonvault. Um, you
Yeah,
know,
go ahead. Get it.
for
Yeah,
sure.
tell us about talk about that, Zeb, because that is exciting. I agree.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely for sure. And I'm also part of the core team for Moonvault. You know, as to, specifics of the partnership, Vu can detail those better since we were in that conversation together. But Moonvault is how essentially for the moment a custom auto compounder, protocol on the Binance Smart Chain, but they're also available on other, I believe, Chronos, Polygon, Phantom, Harmony, and Moonriver.
They, yeah,
Yeah.
we have it's right now it's a development partnership with these guys. So it's super interesting. If you check out their protocol, they're working their way towards a V2, which is even more insane. I don't know how much of what I know is alpha, so I don't want to say too much.
No,
But
they're actually
essentially
very
right
well.
now they have a token that doesn't go down in price. It's insane. So,
Yeah.
so
So
when I met
actually, yeah.
Nico from Moonvault, I was like, this is really interesting, and I realized that he was an outstanding developer. And we were able to kind of just strike up a partnership first, just based on friendship, and then on just working on some different things together. So he's doing some cool, innovative stuff. We're doing some innovative stuff. So we've been kind of collaborating on some of that. I feel like in this scene, some of these protocols are so scared of losing their own alpha or the next thing that they're working on that they fail to take a chance to reach out to another smart guy or another smart developer from another protocol and get some insight. Hey, have you been through something similar? What do you think? And, it's nice to have some friends in the space that we can reach out to and, kind of grow together.
100%. Moonvault also is unlike they're actually quite transparent to the point where they have a kind of policy of they don't care if people know about their alpha, as people call it. They just kind of more open about developments and how your community can grow forward with them, as well as
That's the exact kind of stuff that vibes with us over here at GoldMint. 100%.
no need to conceal secrets when you can just proudly state them. In fact, they're coming out with their V2, which is a variable reinvestment. Basically you can 40%, for example, 140% gets auto compound reinvested in the auto compounder, and 60% gets put back into stables and put into a bank contract, which you can collect at any time, as well as an escrow service and a few other things that are in development. More.
If you have to Google one or two of the things Zeph said, that's all right. But it is worth paying attention to.
Yeah.
These folks are smart guys. They're working on a good product. Our gal's considering participating in their V2, aggressively as one of its revenue generating mechanisms. So they are a cool protocol to check out. We'll get,
And the
there's a link to them at the partnership announcements channel.
And the never decreasing moon token, which is also pretty cool, as you said.
Yep.
Anyway.
Cool. I think we can probably answer a couple questions, let some people up. Real quick, I wanted to answer Wakanda's question, like what are the whitelist spots for? So the whitelist spots are right now for the nodes, and hopefully we can tie into something with the NFTs. Not 100% sure yet, but for right now, you need a whitelist to be able to participate in the node program. You can acquire these a couple of ways, by contests and things like that, like even here in the AMA. But other than that, the basic way to get one is by purchasing one by sending 0.125 PAX G to our DAO, and that will enter you in. The whitelist, though, down the line, we do have plans for a lot more uses and using fun with it and some events and things like that. There's a little bit written in the docs there, but yeah, more details and more fun things for the whitelisters to come. But there'll definitely be fun and good benefits towards that.
100%.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Good answer. Also, we have a limited amount of nodes. There's only so much GoldMint. I mean, we are a new seniorage protocol. Emissions grow slowly over time, the total number of tokens. And we are particularly high. I mean, we have the highest pay by several orders of magnitude.
Yeah.
So there is only so much GoldMint to go around to be put into nodes. It's not like if people want to buy 5,000 nodes on Friday that many could even be made available. There wouldn't be enough GoldMint or bond GoldMint to sustain that need. So we already knew the nodes were going to be a little bit smaller than some of the other rounds, just because in number of tokens, not in total value, but in terms of number of tokens. So we just felt like it was also another way to make sure like our earliest and best, strongest participants were the ones who were getting an opportunity to participate in these. It's just a really nice way to kind of get the GoldMint in the hands of some of our most committed community members, which is exactly where we want it.
All said.
Yeah, exactly.
Any other questions? I see Rambo's had his hand up for a while.
Man,
You want to let him
the
up?
entire time. Yeah, somebody let him up.
I will do it. Just have to get down there. There we go. Who's got his hands up? Oh, JDC or Rambo?
Rambo's up.
Oh, Rambo. Hey, Rambo.
What up, man? Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Honestly, I've had my hand up for a long time. I kind of forgot my question, but two things. I guess I did ask it in the AMA discussion chat about those NFTs, but I think you guys answered it. Another thing too, I know I hit up Zephyr about it, but I highly suggest you guys try to build these AMAs within Twitter too. 'Cause, I believe in this protocol. Unfortunately, the only ones that are able to listen in are, of course, your dedicated followers or their friends, right? But Twitter could reach out to so many other people outside of just your usual customers or investors or whatever. Other than that, I appreciate everything you guys are doing. I can't wait for these notes to come out.
Right on, man. We honestly, I would love to expand the Twitter Spaces. We did one with one of our friend protocols called Dragons of the West. They're on Kronos. They're an NFT project. Pretty cool project. They have like a game. It's like a card game with a use case, but it's nice. You like don't know the exact stats of it, so it's not something like your stats can change slightly with each card at each time you enter a round. So you can't like exactly code or algorithm, to like game the system. They got a pretty cool setup. But they do a bunch of Twitter Spaces. So we went on for one of those, and I'll tell you what, it was a cool experience. I bet you some of the, a lot of the guys on here probably haven't been on one. Some of them have, but it's exciting. They do a lot of giveaways, a lot of rewards, a lot of hype. It's a pretty cool experience. So I would love to maybe talk to those guys, see if we can get on another one with them, do some more with some other friends. Rambo, I'd love to have you, be a big participant in one of the early ones that we do. But yeah, I like the idea of not just doing these AMAs. We're going to have AMAs every Wednesday, no matter what. And we're adding some more. I mean, we did one in the Alpha Omega last night. I have one over with our friends at Moon Vault tomorrow. But we are going to keep adding. And I would like for them, like you said, not just to be this core group on Discord, but to kind of start getting the word out there to the broader community. I think that's an awesome suggestion.
Yeah, I think that one Twitter Spaces we did was really cool. It was pretty fun. It is, I think, a pretty good way to outreach more. I think we are hopefully going to see more of that definitely soon. And
Yeah, I asked them
think
if they wanted to do some Golden Dragon collab NFTs, so I think they might be doing that. So there's a good reason for us to go hype that up.
Yeah.
Make it shiny and give Vu a call.
That's pretty much it. That's all it takes.
All right, guys. Any serious questions or non-serious questions? JDC, so you got your hand up. Somebody want to get him up
here? Or her? He, she.
Does somebody? How do I do this? Can somebody get him up here?
I think we invited them.
Okay. You click accept. JDC.
Yeah. Maybe let's see the AMA discussion. Okay. Yeah, I invited them up. But there we go.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Good. How are you?
How are you?
I'm great. My question went with the nodes. I was hoping you guys can expand on that a bit. I'm very interested. One of you guys were talking about the nodes and holding it for 90 days. And then saying something about rolling it over into a new node. Yep. Is there an option to where we can hold it for longer, like 120 or so?
That's a pretty good question. So they expire after 90 days. So you could let the rewards sit there for as long as you want, but after 90 days, it will no longer be accumulating rewards. And then after that, it'll be free. Like it'll cost 0 tax to then compound those rewards into new node so that you can continue to earn rewards on top of the rewards that you earned. And essentially,
the answer is probably 90-day intervals. And I don't want to say that's definitely going to be it, but essentially at the end of your 90 days, you have the chance to choose, 90-day, compound these into a greater value starting point in nodes. So remember, you'll be coming in with more more GoldMint, whether you come in with Bond GoldMint or GoldMint than you started with. So you'll have the ability to, purchase a node that's going to yield you even further reward, kind of like every 90 days, the choice to continue for another 90 days.
Okay, awesome. That's great. And cool. Also, I was wondering, how big are you guys on collaborating with NFTs?
Oh, we've been just starting. This is our first week, man. I think we got 3 or 4 that we've been talking to, so we're definitely open to kind of continuing that conversation with anybody else who's like building, innovating, doing cool stuff in the space. And they
Okay,
gotta
you
be
might.
shiny.
They're very shiny. Living Lands NFT. I'm telling you, you guys need to talk to them.
Yeah, send there's a suggestions channel. Maybe send like a link to their docs or something like that. I'll check it
Yeah,
out.
I sent it already to somebody. I'm not a collaborator or anything. I'm just part of their community, and the two of you would go over the moon. I'm telling you.
That's awesome to hear.
Yeah,
Check it
the
out,
two
man.
of
I
you guys would be
definitely
great.
will. I'll message you back. Appreciate the good lead. You know.
All right, no worries.
Cool.
Mhm.
Thanks, JDC.
Anybody else got any questions?
No. Have a great day.
Thanks.
You too.
You too.
You too. It looks like maybe Tech Junkie's typing a message in the discussion. Maybe not.
Oh, he is indeed. What is the
Exact cost of node is going to be 0.8 GoldMint or 0.8 bond GoldMint.
Yeah.
Eventually, we might look into doing other tiers and stuff like that, but to start, it's
Yes.
going to be 0.8. And that's especially relevant to the folks right now who have random amounts of bond GoldMint with what we're doing with the Olympus Pro contracts, and that will be deployed. So you'll be able to access from our website as well. It'll be pretty clear. We'll obviously make an announcement and things like that. But next time you're on the site after it's deployed, it'll be pretty obvious how to jump in there and get some discounted bond GoldMint if you need to top yourself off.
Yeah, it's really cool opening the Olympus Pro program and allowing people to, because we've given away quite a couple random bond amounts, so now people can, if they don't have enough, you can kind of easily acquire some through some LP or PAX G, and it's a pretty cool system. Now you can focus into a node and recycle and get more bonds, maybe stake them in the vault, and yeah, it opens up a lot to do.
Can we touch a little bit on like LPs as well? I mean, just so I'm sure pretty much everybody kind of understands it, but I want to stress that a little bit more. Building LPs.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great suggestion, Cripson. So we just talked about a lot of the things that we're innovating on, but sometimes it's easy to forget the basics or the core of the protocol. So when one of the actions, the community members can participate in so many different ways. Between our farms and being in the mint, or if you call it the boardroom, and now with the nodes coming up, there's going to be NFTs. Doing the Olympus Pro discounts, investing and stuff now, that there's a lot of stuff you can do. But one of the things that when you look at our protocol, we are always going to support the most is those who provide liquidity. When you provide liquidity, that means you're going to Uniswap, a place where it's a decentralized exchange. We don't control it. You can't buy GoldMint from us. When you provide liquidity, you're saying, I have confidence in the GoldMint ecosystem, and I'm going to help make Uniswap, capable of allowing people to trade or exchange GoldMint. So that's a really cool thing for participants to do for the overall health of the protocol. So if you look in our farms right now, I believe the daily APR for our LP providers, those who choose to pair GoldMint and PAX G on Uniswap and then stake that token in our farms, the Uniswap token that they get in return, or the US dollar coin pair against our share token. It's like over 3% a day in return. So we really do try to incentivize you guys as you're deciding what to do and getting excited about all the new programs. Don't forget that when we release something that's cool and new, we're never going to forget to take care of the original participants in the basis of the protocol. So even with all these cool ways to participate, as we approach PEG, if you're someone who's a little bit concerned about impermanent loss or the price going up and down, that can be a good time to provide liquidity if you believe that our price is going to kind of occasionally go above and below there. It's just middle ground, you could call it. So there's a lot of reason to look at participating in the ecosystem from that perspective for the health of the protocol. And also, if you just like the best rewards, that's right now, I believe that is the highest APR in the system, is if you head over to Uniswap and create a little LP with your GoldMint tokens paired against PAX-G. So definitely consider participating in that fashion as well.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity right now, and we need to deepen the LP as much as we can, and continue to do that constantly throughout this entirety. Make GoldMint PAX-G as deep as possible.
It's one of those things for people to remember too. And anytime you're taking profit, to not only do so responsibly, but to be taking some of that profit, putting it back into the LP pools, and really just to continue to support the ecosystem and the longevity. So if anybody ever doesn't understand the best way, reach out to one of our folks so they can go through it with you, because it's really so important to our longevity.
Right. And I mean, LPs can work so many different ways. I mean, it helps. I build LPs in every protocol that I'm in. Not only like, yes, to help the protocol 100% help the peg. I mean, it's a given. We have to have deep liquidity to kind of help structure or set the peg up to be structured for more of a stabilized peg, I guess you could say. So that really helps, obviously. But yeah, I mean, just think of it as a bank account as well. Like I like to hold LPs in case, something in the protocol presents a pretty good opportunity. Then I'll sometimes take some of that LP if it's not going to put too much of a price impact on it, and then maybe up my game a little bit in GoldMint or the share token or whatever, bonds, whatever. And so you can kind of you can do that. That's just like not financial advice, but that's what I do. And it seems to work out pretty well. Helps both.
Couldn't agree more. Yeah.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Just was going to follow up with you. I think that's really well said, and it's good advice, and how it can work out for not only yourself but for everybody involved. So it's well said, Chris.
Yeah, and just not you guys, like, if it's making, like, the rule of thumb in like these seniority protocols I like to go by. This is just my advice would be, if you're making more than a 1% price impact, it's not smart to be trying to take profits. It's just really not. So it'd be cool, if everybody would keep that in mind, just to help this protocol. Because I mean, it's here pretty soon, it's going to be doing really well, and 1% price impact is it'll be you'll notice there'll be a pretty decent amount of profits you could take in the future on that. But right now, it's we don't have like super deep liquidity right now, so it'd be better if we can just do our best to hold and just get to where we're going to be here in the near future. It's coming. So
yeah, it's all
the thing is,
in the long run. Go ahead, Doc.
These share tokens, just so everybody knows, are going to be really valuable, and I'm not just talking based off a fiat or a gold related value. Whenever emission stops and the Dow really starts to go to work, the share token holders, those are going to be the people that can benefit the most. So it's easy to forget because it's so far down the road, but don't sleep on that. And right now, obviously, yep, yeah. And right now, the best way to get your hands on share tokens is to put LP and to stake it. It's plain and simple.
Absolutely. All right, Jimmy 225. Let's bring him up. He missed the AMA last night, so good chance to get to talk to him.
100%.
Jimmy.
Let's go.
Oh,
Jimmy.
hello?
Oh, hey.
What's happening, Jimmy?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. Hey, how you doing, fellas?
good. How are you?
I've been in DeFi since I bought Hex. I was putting on LPs in the Uniswap when it first started, so I've been dabbling
right on.
in the start. But just two quick things. I love the idea. Maybe I'm old school. I like gold, even though a lot of people talk down on it. But the way things are getting, the more and more people are going to realize, that might be more stable than everything else at the end of the day. So that's kind of what drew me here. Just,
Feel the same way.
yeah, you guys must feel the same way. Otherwise you wouldn't be involved with gold. Merged with crypto. A lot of wankers and cheats. That's the furthest thing they want to be involved with. But I guess just two things, just two ideas. The liquidity. That detonator concept that EMP has, and I've been in that since day one. Man, that's a great way to get instant liquidity locked up in the system. I think to buy nodes through locking up an LP versus just a straight token.
It's an awesome idea. I'll tell you, honest to God, we're talking about it as a team on the back end, specifically what they're doing. We love it for us.
To be honest, to me, it almost makes, especially because we don't have much liquidity here, it's almost a necessity unless we can get enough exposure to get people locking traditionally. And then the other thing is just because I've been in a lot of platforms, I don't know how sophisticated your coder is and whatnot, but if we could have, like, how they have the zap in buttons,
Yes.
zap in, your liquidity. It'd be cool in these tomb forks to have a situation where, like, let's say in the main LP where we're earning the share token with the gold PAX LP, where you had like three options of what you could do with your reward: an instant zap into the mint, an instant zap back into the share token USD LP, or you could just zap back. You could essentially take your share token and zap it back in, essentially compound it just by clicking the button. I think it would incentivize people to just keep staying in the system. And that's what
that's a good idea.
Does anybody have that? It's like
no, nobody has that. Nobody has that.
But why not? It's I've been thinking the same exact thing, man. Like, seriously, it's funny you talking because, like, I just haven't talked about it.
So two great suggestions, Jimmy. We actually had, you're maybe a little bit newer to the protocol. We did try to do Zappin at the beginning, and we've grown. Initially we struggled with doing some of that custom stuff, but we've grown to have a pretty robust and skilled development team at this point. And I think that is something we could revisit that we just hadn't in a little while. And adding, the multiple options.
Yeah, no one really does that. I mean, you can do like really cool things where even that 50-50 into the share LP and the other 50 into the main LP. There's a lot of the thing. Just click the button and just keep staying in the game.
Yeah.
Well,
Great
yeah.
idea.
I guess another thing is, and I'm sure you guys noticed, but EMP's had like pretty significant success in this whole tomb fork escapade, and they really educate, man. They're just constantly, they got that academy telling people how to play the game. This isn't your normal, pump and dump. You got to participate, yada yada yada. But I think that should be a big part. And then I'll leave you with this, and then I'll get off.
You're good.
Maybe you should more time on Telegram, getting more people into the tent. The voice chats over there, seem to be pretty popular. Seems like a lot more people are accessible on Telegram. I know there's a lot of Jeets over there, but we're on the ETH chain, so I think ETH people are a lot different than the BSC and the AVAX crowd. So, but hey guys, those are what I have. I'm in the game. I'm LPN, so.
Right on, man. Happy to have you, brother. Awesome suggestions. I'll try. I'm in EMP's server. I'll try to jump over there and maybe talk a little bit, see if I can see what we can do with those guys. Because you're right, they do some pretty cool stuff. They're good to their community. They have some cool innovations that I think GoldMint really respects. And I think maybe we could increase the conversation between our two protocols too. Well, good. Should we give some away?
I
just did a random number generator. I got 4. Want to give Joe's Garage a whitelist spot and 0.8 bond GoldMint?
Ooh, look at him go. Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, Joe's Garage, if you're
Jared,
listening.
on,
here,
man.
just-
Yeah.
You're in,
He's
James.
got his hand up.
Welcome to Nodes. Well, you can do whatever you want with it, but
let's invite him up and see if he
pick
has
that
something to
amount
say.
for a reason.
You're on mute.
All right, he's up
Hey,
here.
Joe's Garage. I think you're muted at the moment. Nice to have you up here.
Yeah, all good?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you now.
Hey, first off, thank you very much. The last guy up was awesome. He really knew his stuff. Question about Ethernet fees. Have you guys thought about a subnet? Is that in the roadmap anywhere that reduce some costs? And I was going to ask about nodes and the buy-in, but I think I'm already good on that. Thank you very much. Ames
Right
and
on.
Walrus have great zap-ins if you guys want to check any of those out. And I was messaging with James Pelton. You guys doing an AMA with him? Because he's tight with the EMP Money Group, so he can do some intros for you if needed. So that's all I wanted to say. Thanks, guys, and thank you very much for the gifts. I appreciate it.
Awesome.
Yeah, right on. Happy to have you, brother.
Thank you.
Well, good. That's I think that about does it. Yeah, let's call that a great AMA. Thank you guys all for being here. I appreciate you all the most. It's really the community that makes this protocol strong. It's an ambitious goal that we set here, and we're really lucky to have you guys. So thanks for joining in, and we'll be talking soon.
Nice all.
Yeah,
Yep.
thanks everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.